So, Alien Earth season finale just aired, and quite frankly, it's awful. It's absolutely awful. I've never watched a show. I say final so loosely. I've never watched a show where nothing wraps up. There is nothing compelling about this series. Like I said, I liked the first 4 episodes. It went downhill from the fifth onwards. The fifth episode was basically their version of the original Alien. It was fine, but it was all the same tropes. The acting was a bit bad, but I wasn't hating on it. I just didn't enjoy it as it was just a copy, and I'd watched Alien very recently before that. So I was like, that's a copy, that's a copy, that's a copy. The set pieces are amazing. There's a lot about this series that is great for sci-fi. But from episode 5 to now episode 8, we've had disaster after disaster. And the actual worst episode is the finale. I cannot believe episode 7 finished. And we knew that all the different storylines couldn't possibly be tied up. There wasn't enough time. Then I saw that the final episode is essentially 45 minutes long. So I knew that nothing's going to happen or it's going to be rushed. And quite frankly, what we got is something that was slow, rushed, tonally off, and also like nothing wrapped up. It's so strange. I don't know, this felt like this should have been last episode. Like this could have just made the last episode an hour and a half and had this. A lot of this was just filler. No, I'm actually a bit lost for words. I just really don't understand how they think that anybody is going to be happy with this season. There isn't a single arc that went full circle. Nothing. They entitle it Monsters. But the reality is, Wendy is now the monster, right? Wendy is releasing the Xenomorph. She's created an absolute huge death toll through the Xenomorph. She speaks to the Xenomorph. She's essentially the god of the island, which, I don't know, I find that a bit strange. It's like she can control everybody now, everything and everybody, because it's all intertwined to the Prodigy systems. She has complete access of all of that. And look, the implications are the Prodigy systems and the network go beyond just that island. Surely it's Prodigy City as well. So what we've got is God, basically, controls the Xenomorph. She's able to kill Xenomorphs as well, as we've seen earlier. She no longer believes that she's Marcy, which is great, because she never has been. And that's fine. I thought that would have been a bit of a sort of character arc anyway. But I'm really just not impressed with how it's gone. Like, there isn't anything that they could possibly do to her. She can see everything they're doing. She can literally stop synthetics. She can release and unlock any door. She isn't afraid of any of the aliens. She's controlling the Xenomorphs. The Xenomorph is now paired up with its little brother, which makes you think, what the hell was Kirsch's story? What was his master plan? Again, we have no idea. So basically at the episode 4, Kish and Marrow were essentially the absolute best characters. You kind of understood their arcs, but there was a lot of mystery behind it. You weren't quite sure what was going to happen and where they sit in the series. They were the best characters. But since then, they've absolutely plummeted, and it turns out they were just idiots. They were written, and they just acted very well, but the characters themselves are written terribly. Now look, the tone of this season really went from very strange to quite alien-esque to sci-fi island-esque to what we have now. And I'm not really here for it. I thought I would have been. I thought I was going to enjoy this show and I was going to look past all the bad writing and the decisions. But look, I don't even want to wrap up and have a review of this episode as such. It's just, this is one of the most disappointing finals. Like I thought Game of Thrones absolutely flopped, right? A lot of seasons and series always struggle to hit the landing and the payoff. This doesn't pay anything off. It doesn't land. It doesn't even attempt to land. It's literally a show that's setting up for the plot of season 2, and that is absolutely fine. But something's got to change. There isn't really a change. We're still on the island. Nobody's dead. Everybody's alive. We literally lost one hybrid. That is it, due to the flies killing them. Other than that, no one's dead. We've had near deaths. We've had Kirsch almost getting killed by Marrow. Marrow then almost getting killed by Kish, but no one's dying. It's as if the writers didn't want to make them die because they're the best actors, so we don't want to get rid of them for season 2. We've got Wendy, who died but came back to life because she's a robot, obviously, hybrid. So that can happen, totally fine. We've had the scientist died, and the scientist is now the Teocelus's body, which the Teocellus, again, what does it do? Like, we know it, we hear it's intelligent. That's it. Like, that is the plot. It's an eyeball that gets basically invincible as well, by the way, despite it being an eyeball and tentacles, and as we know, like, I don't know, based on normal things like octopus and an actual eye, these things are not exactly the most durable. They get cut quite easily. It's getting thrown around by a hybrid, smashed against things by a human, and the eye is just fine. Let's be real. That alien design is kind of cool, I suppose, as it controls its victims by going into the eye socket. But no, like it can't be indestructible as well. But that's fine. Okay, they wrote it, they made it up. It's indestructible. Cool. But it went from really intriguing, oh, it's intelligent, to actually it's not very intelligent at all. It's just an eye squid, basically. Doesn't do anything, doesn't contribute anything to the story. I just don't get it. I don't understand what it's adding to the story. Again, the flies. Okay, cool. You introduced us to the flies. What do? Nothing. They basically just eat materials like metal. Okay, cool. Anything else? Don't know. Don't care. Not well written enough. Boring. And by the way, they're held within a metal container. It's fucking stupid. And then we have the plant. Like, what the fuck is that? Bulbasaur, basically. How does it even move? Like, how is it in the vents? Doesn't make any sense. We don't know if it can move. We just don't know anything about it. So, whatever. It's just, for me, plants don't normally move. But okay, this plant can move, and it's sucked up one of the security. Oh, what the hell, man? Like, why? Why on the last episode are we seeing this? Like, what is the point? Like, what does that plant do? What value add to the story is that? So, what, the next season starts with Wendy and her basically Frankenstein monsters. She can talk to them, and they don't want any of the synthetics or the hybrids. But hold on a minute, there's flies that eat the hybrids and the synthetics. So, again, I'm a bit lost for words. And also, you've got these stupid characters who are just spraying antiseptic all day, every day, just standing still, doing nothing, basically. Not really sure what value that adds to keep showing that. Again, I know it's like, let's go back to other films and Blade Runner and things like this, but it doesn't work for me. I don't really understand. The Xenomorph looks terrible, by the way. I said before in my previous videos, it looks like something out of Power Rangers. It is very cosplay. The head looks strange. The suit just looks awful. It's like, come on, man. Can you not show it in daylight? Can you tone it down a bit? Can you keep it in the smoke? Can you do what they did in the original? Because guess what? A man in a suit looks like shit. It just does. I really don't understand what they're doing. And also the tint. Why is it orange? Why is it also invincible? Why can't anybody shoot it? And when they do, nothing happens. So it's bulletproof. Why? Don't know. Bad writing. It's just awful. Bearing in mind that Wendy was able to kill one of these things, yeah? And Murray was able to literally stun it and put it in a bag and drag it around. So, look, they've already shown us that they're not invincible. But yet on this island where there's more security than there would have been in any of the other moments the Xenomorph encountered anyone, it's invincible. Like, completely invincible. Like, what's going on there? And then we have this other little Xenomorph. Like, what's the point? Why do we have two Xenomorphs? There literally is no point to the writing, because you know the second show hasn't been written yet. So it has nothing to do with the plot lines of what it started. We've got Smee and Slightly. What is their plot line? What have they done? they're just a band of brothers basically with Wendy, the Lost Boys. I'm just frustrated. Like, I can't sit here and tell you I've watched anything. I've seen like almost the concept of a story, and they haven't flashed out any of the characters or the demise of the characters. We've found out almost nothing. We found out that Boy Cavalier now has ADHD and he created a synthetic. The synthetic killed his dad. But who cares? Boy Cavalier's terrible and like he's not really a great character. So like, I don't know, that's not a really big revelation for me. And then we've got obviously Yutani actually. Miss Yutani on her way to the island with Marrow there. What's this about? So how are you going to start the next season? The next season is they're all going to land. What, does Yutani die? Well, she can't do, surely. Also with Yutani going, they're going to see all the aliens, and again, it doesn't tie into lore, canon, whatever, but we're way past that. I just don't see how this season elevates. I don't see how you will elevate this at all. I didn't like the location. I thought Thailand was a bit rubbish, actually. I thought the Xenomorph doesn't suit Earth's surroundings. I suppose that's probably why no one's ever really done it. Like, if you are going to do it, you've kind of got to do it like AVP Requiem. I know, I can't believe I've said it, but in the sewers, within the infrastructure of a city, it cannot be essentially in the woods. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's light, you can see them, they don't look that ominous, they're not particularly scary. And here, like I said, it just looks like a guy running around in a cheap Power Rangers suit. Like, it even sounds like it's some fetishy, weird latex material. Like, it's like they haven't edited it. It's like got lazy. It's like they've run out of budget. This is the best we can do. The head looks so unalive. Like, I can't really explain it. But everything about this show just has disappointed me. I don't even want to go into all the plot holes and what they... I'm just disappointed. And that there isn't really much more to say. That's all this was, a ramble to say I'm disappointed. I might actually do a video to review it properly, get a script going, everything that's wrong with it, but I'm not sure there's any point at this stage. Everybody who's watched all my episodes knows that this isn't good. I thought it was okay, I thought I could watch it, and I did, still enjoyed it, obviously, for whatever reason, but I just, again, I've said it in a previous video, just get someone who's a historian nerd within the franchise, understands the lore and canon like the back of their hands, get them to sign an NDA, read through these scripts before they actually go out to the producers and to production, before they actually make them, and they can just make sure that all the bullshit when it comes to timeline, all the bullshit when it comes to Xenomorphs wouldn't do that, all the bullshit in general regarding everything. Yeah, they can do this with multiple different things. They can do it with Rings of Power, they can do it with anything that has die-hard fans, any IP, any franchise. Get the historians to look at it, and of course they're going to go through it with a fine comb and basically say almost everything's rubbish. That's fine. And what you do is you go, right, 10 things that absolutely are rubbish, other things we can stick with some of these things and break lore a little bit if it is a good story, right? We're all happy for it to do that if it's for the benefit of the story, as long as it kind of makes sense or can be explained. There's a lot here that cannot be explained, won't be explained, and it just is like a child's TV series. I thought this was meant to be horror. I thought we were going to have deaths. I don't care about any character right now. They've all completely lost me. Wendy's arc is disappointing. The Xenomorph is shit. Morrow, I just don't understand what's happened to him. He's turned into an absolute fucking loser. Kirsch is just... There is no mastermind behind the mastermind. Like, everything led to he's basically running the show, pulling the strings, but he wasn't. He was just observing and not telling Boy Cavalier for no reason. Whatever. And all this time, we've got Wendy being able to just control them, tell anyone to stop, and is essentially a superhero. Like, it's absolute bullshit. Like, the real monster's Wendy. The other monsters are a bag of shit. The show is unfortunately a real pile of shit as well. And yeah, can I wait for season 2? Yes, I can wait for it. I'm not even sure if it's getting the green light. Is it definitely going ahead? And if so, I'm just not sure what they can do with it, to be honest. apart from just nuke the island, because that's ultimately where it would have to go. But anyway, look, if you're new here, these are just my thoughts, my ramble, my scramble. You know, I did this with no edits, so it's quite difficult to do that. No edits, just watched it. And yeah, subscribe, like the content. Please give it a hype as well, actually, if you enjoy it. And I'll catch you in the next one. Sorry, car just went past. Anyway, peace out.